Welcome back. This is Ahmed Hamdi and this is the second session in modeling and simulation of discrete systems using Arena RockWell course. In the last session, I talked about modeling types: physical, mathematical, and process model, as well as I explained the three types of simulations: live, virtual, and constructive simulation, which will be our core in this course, as we will study simulated entities using simulated programs. In this session, I'm gonna cover and identify the main parameters of any discrete system. So let's start. Before starting the modeling process of any system using any simulation software, you should identify the following parameters. First of all, the entities of the system should be clarified well, and this will be covered in a separate slide. Then, you should identify the attributes of these entities. After that, system variables should be clarified, as well as the used resources in the system. And finally, the process flow or the sequence of operations should be clarified as well. And all these four parameters will be covered in the next slides. So let's start with entity. Basically, entities could be considered as the elements in the system which are being processed or served during the system processes. Something like a patient in the hospital. So, if we consider the hospital or the clinic as a system, so the patient will be the entity of this system. The same in the factory. If we consider the factory as a system, so the raw materials and the finished goods will be the entities of this system. So again, entities are the elements in the system which are being processed or served during the system processes. And now, I'll talk about attributes. So attributes are considered as the characteristics of the entities. Let's give an example with the hospital system. So we agreed before that the entities of the hospital system are the patients. So we may have different types of patients with different characteristics or procedures. So that is called attributes, the main characteristics of the entities. For the system variables, they are defined as the characteristics of the system itself, or maybe something defined as a specific preference in the system, such as the number of working hours per shift, or maybe something like the preferred schedule of workers in the system or maintenance plans. When we talk about resources, we talk about the different supportive elements in the system. I mean, everything could help and support the entities to be processed or served during the different processes in the system, such as physicians and nurses in the hospitals, or maybe workers and machines in factories. And finally, for the process flow, it could be considered as the sequences of operations inside a system. This could be different routes of different processes that the entities should go through within the system gates. At the end, I hope everyone now can differentiate between the different modeling parameters, and I hope you enjoyed this session and see you in next videos.